Hey there, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Tommy Bell Art's Sketchy and Funny. Today's episode is extra special because not only am I working on a mermaid drawing here, a mermaid fight underwater war to be specific, featuring Carissa Dumond and Sushi Yvette, but I have something super special, so I don't want to waste any time with all this introduction stuff. We're going to hop right into the art table, and I'm going to show you something really special, so let's get to it. This is an extra special edition of Sketchy and Funny because today, check this out, I've actually got Carissa Dumond, who is right here in this picture, as my guest, my first ever show guest. Carissa, welcome to Sketchy and Funny.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm like I said, this is a total first for me. So if anything's going to go wrong, it's going to be this episode right here. Now I have my camera focused on the drawing and kind of showing the photo that you and Sushi Yvette supplied for me, which again,
Right.
thank you.
Absolutely.
I don't even know how to start with the accolades, but what I am going to start doing is start with the drawings and stuff, and we'll just the
Yeah.
show. Carissa, the show is very unscripted. So
Oh,
what happens is I kind of start coloring and I just start babbling like an idiot. So anytime you want to chime in, you go
Okay.
right on ahead. Because
Okay.
I try to say that it's, this is a very informal drawing. So you're kind of getting to see what I'm
Yes.
doing when I'm not on social media and trying to chat back and forth. So
Mm.
today, and everybody else, welcome into the show to both of my viewers. Okay, so here we go. I'm actually really surprised at the reaction this drawing is getting already. But gang, here it is, underwater war, and I've got the skin tones done, and I've got the tails as close as I can possibly get them.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, and we're gonna go in and do some hair, which is really cool. Now, both of these ladies, if you look over here at the photograph, you can tell Sushi's got really dark hair. And of
Yes.
course, when it's wet and underwater and with the light coming through this way, you get a lot of light play from behind, so it makes it look darker. But she have very dark hair, and you got more brownish hair with some highlights and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I've selected, because I have to turn this into color pencil world. So
Mhm.
obviously, we're going to start with our dark colors. So I got a black and I got a dark brown. I've got my favorite terracotta, and I've
Mhm.
got a ochre. And then this is a really fun pencil that I might use, and it's a seashell pink, which might sound a little bizarre right from the get-go, but it will be used to highlight some of the lighter browns. But it's
Ah.
time to get to town. And so I always work dark to light.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because it's my damn show. No, the reason is it just seems to be easier for me
Do it
to.
your way, right?
If I don't, then all of a sudden I'm doing it somebody else's way, and that's no good.
And that's no good. No, not at all.
And you will see me do this. I've got a dry brush that I use all the time because as you start working with colored pencils, especially when I start blending, you get this
Right.
incredible wax buildup that you're always
Mhm.
trying to fight against. Now, what I'm
Mhm.
doing is I'm hopping in here with the black first. Again, we're working darkest to lightest.
Okay.
And with black, I've said this, Carissa, many times before on my show. Black is the most dangerous color to work with because it's
Mm.
impossible to take it away. If I'm doing this with a light green or yellow or something like that, and I put too much on it, I can take it away.
True.
With black, even with the best artist erasers I have, when I put this in, it's there. I can't back it up.
Right.
So I try to be stingy at first and just kind of, and again,
Mhm.
I'm looking, here's this photograph. So I'm looking at all this stuff and trying to map out
Mhm.
how it all works in your hair.
That is awesome. I mean, it's incredible the things that you do and the colors. I mean, when I saw the tails, Sushi's tail first, I mean, that's the red harlot, and that's exactly what it looks like. And then mine. And I mean, the way that you do it and blend it, your artistic
Thank
talent
you.
is phenomenal.
Thank you. I mean, again, people like you who have shown so much support and enthusiasm for what I'm doing. That's what fires me up. That's what makes me want to hit that drawing table and do something that's
Yeah.
insane. And you and I have danced around
Hmm.
working on a project together far too long. And
Yes.
to the point it was really starting to drive me crazy. And you know, it's like there's this list going and I,
Hmm.
you know, again, just like I really have to do something. So
Right.
when I had this idea, it
Yeah.
was not nearly as cool as what happened when you started like getting fired up about it. You know, my idea was, all
Mhm.
right, you know, maybe we'll do like a mermaid stare down or something and we'll do it where you're, you know, both sitting where I can put you on a rock or something and then you're on land and they're
Oh.
like,
Oh
and
no.
well, you jumped in and you were like, how about something underwater?
Yes, yes. Well, and I mean, and if it's our personality, Sushi's very busy and go, 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 and so am I. And I thought this would be really cool. And I was impressed with how the picture came out. And it's a still shot from a video. Um,
Oh,
H2O Temps
dying to
was
see that
videoing.
video.
Yeah.
And I will. And I will. Everybody out there who knows me knows I will be watching that at some point, especially knowing that this drawing is essentially not only is it a tribute to you, to
Hmm.
Sushi, to
Yeah.
H2O Gems, who
Yeah.
you know, right
Yeah.
behind the lens, but
Yeah.
it's also a tribute to that photo shoot in that video.
Yeah. Oh,
It really
absolutely.
is.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we have fun doing it. I mean, it's work, but it's fun. And then seeing the end result, and you go through and you find the still shots, and it was just amazing. And this was the one where, like, this has to be it. Sushi looked really evil, sirenish, and it
Hmm.
was perfect. It was totally perfect.
Yeah, because you had sent me several different photos, and this
Hmm.
one
This
struck
one,
me as having
yeah,
the most emotion,
yeah,
action.
yeah.
And I was like, well, this thing's a work of art before I even get started. I don't know if I should do this.
And
I
she's
just
such a tiny thing, but she's fiery, and that just captured her perfectly.
well, and you know what? To be honest, as an artist, when you talk to somebody and then they start sending photos over and you get these photos, I got nervous. I got horribly nervous because I'm like, how am I going to do this justice and not make it look, you know,
No, I mean, you've done beautifully. And I've even shared with the fans the progression, going from the sketch to the skin tones to the tails and, comparing it to the photo. And they're just like, oh my goodness, it's crazy.
I'm really very happy to see so many, especially on Instagram and Twitter
Yes.
and even on
Mhm.
Facebook a little bit because I am on Facebook and there's an
Yeah.
audience that I reach there. I'm
Yeah.
happily stunned how many of my LFC and
Mhm.
Women on Fire
Right.
friends are
Mhm.
responding
Yeah.
because hey, you're an LFC prospect.
Woo!
You know,
That was
I can't
great.
wait to see you in action for them. Who knows? I
Mm.
may even be a judge at that event. We don't
Oh
know.
my.
We don't know.
Oh no.
Well, they're such a great company, and I think I've already told you
Yeah.
they are going to be starting to carry episodes of this very drawing show in their VIP section of their website.
Oh, cool.
Um, these people
Yeah.
are some of the most amazing, giving, and incredible people that I've had the pleasure to work with. That's
That's awesome.
hands down.
Very awesome. Good.
I mean, even my editor for this very show, Mr. Michael Larkin, who is the voice, literal voice of the LFC. You know, he
Right.
does the LFC podcast, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, and
Hmm.
he's been a ring announcer. And like you, he's a close friend. And
Hmm.
you know, it's all about family and the connections you make and all that stuff that
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
make certain banners and companies and stuff very attractive.
Yes. And just supporting each other. I think that's the biggest thing, promoting and supporting each other because it makes all of us have, all of us win.
Oh,
It's
without a doubt.
absolutely.
Without a doubt. And I'll tell you what I won't do though during our little babble here this
Hmm.
evening is I'm not going to steal any of Michael Larkin's thunder as
Right.
far as having an interview about the LFC too much, only because
Hmm.
that's his bag and who nobody does it
Right.
better than him. So
Right. Right.
all those interviewing questions that people are already frothing at the bit for, like myself, it'd be very easy for me to say, you know what? I'm going to ask you a few questions right here and now, but even
Yeah.
I'm going to be a good boy and wait for Michael to interview you and have you on his show, and then we'll find out some of those wonderful stories.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Well, because I have nothing but respect for everybody that works in this industry in this field, and I
And
recognize quickly, well, that's somebody else's bag, or no, maybe I'll do something, or
right.
recognize that and do that. All right, so
Yeah.
I am having some fun with this black, but
I'm telling you, look at it. Yeah.
here's what I'm going to do for a minute because I'm clearly working from right to left on this one because I'm actually on the right side of this page, but I'm going to hop into a few other colors here for a minute because
Okay.
there's nothing more fun than seeing how this actually starts to work. Even I,
Right.
even I get kind of like, oh. So I got black down and I've got my dark brown pencil here. Officially Prismacolor's dark brown for those of
Okay.
you who are keeping track and doing this at home. That's what you should do, Carissa. You need
Yeah.
to get yourself a Prismacolor set and then start
Okay.
coloring along with me. And in no time,
I'm
well,
I don't have that artistic ability. I might
I
just stay
can't
in
add.
the water. I'll stay in the water.
All right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and explain this for
Okay.
everybody's curiosity. What I do, the reason I work from dark to light is it allows me to go right on top of this black right here.
Ah,
And it mutes that black and takes a bit of the extreme out, and then it allows me to extend that color just a little bit. And then when I get to the end here, I'm like super light. So it's like really hard right here. And then it's like all of a sudden I go, oh, really light. And I do
nice.
that a million times to to extend that black out a little
Mm,
further and
nice.
mute it so that in a really bright light, you'll be able to see different variations because with hair, so much reflects off of it um,
Right.
that what I try to do is exaggerate it just
Mhm.
enough so that it feels like artland. It's you can tell by the exaggerated colors a little
Mm,
bit. I don't go overboard, but a
right.
little bit that it's
Mhm.
not quite planet Earth anymore. You're now living in the realm of the imagination
Nice.
because that's where I want you.
Yes.
When I get you sucked in that way, then it's time to have some real fun. But you
Absolutely.
can see here, just blocking in
Yeah.
little bits of stuff. And Chris, again, I'm probably going to say this 50,000 more times, but you are the first sketchy and funny guest,
Oh,
and
yay.
kind of made me a little nervous. I was a little nervous before this one. I'm like, man, here we go. Because I have some really crazy cool people lined up that have said, I'll be a guest on that. But what I needed was a guinea pig to see if this would
Oh,
hold.
so I'm the guinea pig. Thank you.
Well, when I asked you and I knew I was working on this drawing, because that's a lie. Guinea pig is a total lie. But
I know, but
when
still.
we were working on this and
Mhm.
I was talking back and forth with Michael Larkin, my editor, and I said, I think this is the perfect time to give this a shot. You
Yeah.
know, you can only talk about it for so long
Mhm.
before you kind of have to just go for it.
Right.
And
Right.
so I said, let's fire up the engines and full steam ahead. And poor Carissa, we'll see.
Well, as long as you got me through the Zoom part of it, I'm so much better now.
I knew Michael would be able to talk you through it even better than me. He's
Oh,
the tech savvy.
yeah.
I grew up on Atari, man.
There you go. Yes.
You had
Yes.
a joystick, you had a button.
a button, and that was it. You didn't have to worry about this, that, and the other. And
Nope.
oh my gosh, I touched this and there it went and it's gone. Yes. Yeah.
And for my viewers, if it sounds like the old man who says, "Get off my lawn," well, you're damn right.
Oh
I'm practicing for that. I'm looking forward to that day.
no. Oh, good gosh. Oh
All
my.
right, now as I'm looking, because I do a lot of comparing back and forth with the photo. I
Right.
mean, in this
Mhm.
camera angle, actually, as opposed to some of my other shows, whereas I just bumped the tripod there, you can actually see that I
Yeah.
keep the photo close by for reference, and then some of it, like in a photo like this, there's areas of the hair where it's really dark, where you have to go, and kind of just make it up as you go and go for it,
Okay.
which is exactly down here. Guess
Mhm.
what? All secrets are now
No.
public knowledge.
Uh-oh.
Fine with me. I knew when I started doing a drawing show, I was going to be giving away what happens behind the scenes. And so some of it, gang, is making it up as you go.
Right.
Because you are the artist. I'm taking a photograph
Mhm.
and I'm not trying to create every single hair or recreate or duplicate, because you already have the photo. Why would I work so hard at doing that? So I do
Right.
take certain artistic liberties if I'm staring at a photo and maybe something isn't defined quite right or whatever.
Mhm.
Hey, you know what? You've got everything you need to make a kick-ass drawing. So just go
There.
for it and fill
Yeah.
in the blanks.
Yeah.
What's the
Oh,
worst that could happen? So,
okay.
well, let's not ask that question. Let's
Yeah, let's
I had
not
to
ask
laugh
that.
at that.
But no, I mean, it's your own interpretation. And I think it's great because, like you said, you can change and tweak things a little bit that maybe couldn't have been done in the photo.
Right. And
Yeah.
I did that with Sushi. I did
Okay.
that by giving her pointed ears,
Yes.
fangs, and
Yes.
even claws at the end of her. I took her fingernails and just kind of wiped those out and said, all right, because one of the things, as you
Mhm.
well know, that I didn't want to do, because I've done several different mermaid drawings and worked with different mermaid
Right.
ladies to
Mhm.
create some really cool images, but
Mhm.
there's so much intricate work that goes into the tails that you ladies have.
Right.
That had to be right. There's
Right.
no liberty you can take with that.
No.
You got to make it look like the individual mermaid's tails. And so, and I won't lie, you already know this. I was
Mhm.
sweating. Yeah, I'm like,
Right. That's so funny.
this
I
is the
mean,
part I got to get right.
and I did want to mention that I was a little worried when I sent you this picture in particular because I thought it looked really good, but around her mouth, there were a lot of bubbles right there. And you
Yeah,
were able to clean that up. It was perfect.
I just took them out. I
Yeah,
just,
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it cleaned up, gave her more definition. You could really see her face, which was awesome.
yes, because it drives me crazy if I'm featuring somebody and I
Mhm.
don't see their face, or I think I don't
Right.
see their face properly. And that
Right.
leads me into this little nugget of information for our viewers. And I say our because you're first guest
Mhm.
on this show. So
Yeah.
proud to have you on. But to me,
Mhm.
I can't see your face. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
Mm.
This is only the first of a couple different features with this
Ooh,
amazing lady who's
yay.
definitely earned both of those. And the next one, I promised her already, will be much more of what I call a proper feature. Uh,
Oh,
this one, it could be it's you, and we all know it's you, and everybody who likes this drawing knows that. But I
right.
also look at things objectively and go,
Mhm.
but it could be,
Yeah.
Sally
Yeah.
Schmidtmeyer.
Could
There's,
be. Yeah.
so it's a proper feature to me, and I'll just clarify, is when there's a drawing that's done of you and there's no mistake that
Mhm.
that's you, that's your face, that's your pose, that's your
Right.
body.
Mhm.
Because I mean, showcasing all of you ladies, that's what it's all about. That's my bread and butter. And if it doesn't look right, or you can't
Mhm.
tell that it's really you, this
Mhm.
one, I'm banging it out. People really seem to love it. I'm in love with this drawing already, and it's not even finished.
I love it too. It looks really good. And I'm really super excited because it's a mermaid and it's not something that you really see out there. Usually you just see an animation or something like that, not a real thing. So I like this because it was real. It was a real moment.
And I'm trying to take that real moment, which had to be
Mhm.
spectacular already, and give it the Tommy Bell art dressing and really put the whole scene in Fantasyland. And that
Yeah.
I do that without undoing all the
Mhm.
hard work that you ladies did and the photographer did to create this. But
Right.
it's just another
Yeah.
avenue of looking at that same.
Hmm.
And so I do want to ask you, because I think this is an important question.
Okay.
Um, why don't you tell us just a little bit about creating this insane photograph?
Okay. Well, I both tails are mine. And Sushi had mentioned that she's always wanted to try a tail, but had not. So that is actually her first time in a tail.
No
And
kidding.
oh my gosh, yes. And I mean, she's a fantastic swimmer. There's no doubt there. We've done a lot of underwater type things, breath hold, that type of thing. So she's good. But this was a new thing for her. And she put on that tail and took off. It was amazing to see. Yeah.
Wow. I did
Yeah.
not know that, and that's so cool to know now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, as soon as she took it off, she's like, okay, now I have to get one. Yeah. It's like a fish in water. She took off and just to see her swim. And then we just kind of got in the water and started doing this kind of play acting, fighting, swimming around each other, following each other. I think there was one point we were holding hands, going across the pool. It just was a neat experience to share with her. I've known her for many years. Since I joined the fetish world, but this was a great moment. It was a way to say, I've gotten so much from her. This was something that I could kind of give back and just watch her blossom. It was incredible.
well, I had an opportunity to do a drawing and feature her, and
Mhm.
literally I was shocked to find out that today of all days, no kidding,
Mhm.
today of all days on Facebook, it said, "You have a memory from 2 years ago." And I pulled it up, and it was
Oh,
her finished drawing.
oh, how cool.
Now,
Super
I
cool.
needed to include her in something else because
Hmm.
uh, I there were elements of that particular feature that I thought I could have done much better. And I go in much more discussion about that on
Mhm.
Pop Anime Comics
Right.
podcast, where I was a guest on there for several hours, and we had several laughs and stuff. And I just, not that I laugh about the drawing, but
Right.
I was never fully happy with it, and I thought,
Oh,
man, I need to do something better for her. I need to get her in something where I don't, you know, I'm only human, so not every drawing is like, wow, that really turns out exactly the way I wanted. You're always reaching for that masterpiece. But I'll say
mhm.
this, it's okay to do a drawing and have parts of it that you're not happy with, because that does
Right.
push you to
Mhm.
that next level.
Right.
So I've been accused several different times of being an over perfectionist and finding too much fault in things, but
Mhm.
I'm clearly just always trying to create my new masterpiece, which,
Right.
according to some of my friends on social media, this is it. This is the guy right here.
Oh my gosh.
I can do this one and retire, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. No, you have many more to do, actually. There are a lot of other women out there you need to do. So,
I've been told that, so I
yeah.
actually don't plan on retiring from the art table for
Yeah.
quite some time.
Well,
I
and it's very empowering. I mean, as soon as you said that you were going to do this, you wanted to do this, it was super exciting. It took it to a whole nother level because this is neat. You're making art out of something that we did, and it's really cool.
I couldn't be more honored to be able to
Mhm.
do this, and the people like yourself that
Mhm.
I've met, that I've talked with,
Hmm.
their enthusiasm for what I'm doing really just kind of fries my brain a little bit, and it fires me up. And I'm
Well,
like,
that's
well, now I want to do another drawing. I'll be damned.
no, that's good. That's good. No, because I mean, I thoroughly respect what you do. I am not artistic at all. So to just even watch you doing this, it's incredible. You just go at it like it's second nature. It's crazy. I shared the information with my daughter and the pictures, so
Uh-huh.
she can see. She's 25, and she knows what I do
Mhm.
as a side hobby, and she was impressed. And she does pastels and watercolors and things like that. So to her, this was also a neat thing to see. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's just too cool. I'd really like to kind of see what she's got going on just because I'm a fan of other artists,
Yeah.
and there's no mistaking that, because even on my social media, I would say a good third of my friends are some of the most these artists that have such
Mhm.
different styles and ways of working. And I'm talking with artist friends all over the globe now,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. And they're so talented, these people. And then when you reach out and you start talking to them, and I mean, just
Yeah.
incredible,
Yeah.
super talented people. And so I love seeing other people's artwork. Uh,
Yeah.
and what I do not like is when I'm
Mhm.
like, let me see what you're doing. And they're like, well, it's nothing like yours. And I'm like, it got
Oh.
nothing to do with nothing. And I really don't like that, because I'd rather just do your thing. It doesn't have to look anything like mine. I want to see what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
And
you
now
never,
for the sake
yeah.
of an art show, real quick, I will confess, ladies and gentlemen, I have been bouncing back and forth between three obnoxious colors right now, between my dark brown, my light brown, and my terracotta, and I haven't even been announcing it like a real scam artist that I am. I'm just popping in and doing these things, and I'm not telling you how I'm doing them. Look at that. How about that? Who's the hoodlum now?
It looks so cool though. Oh gosh.
And I will say, this is so cool to get to talk to you. You know,
Yeah.
we message a lot on social
Mhm.
media and all that, but um I echo Mike Larkin's sentiments to his guests on the LFC podcast when I say what a
Mhm.
privilege and a pleasure it is for me to not only get a chance to work with you on a project like this, but showcase all
Mhm.
the incredible stuff that you do. It's not about showcasing Tommy Bill can draw, because people know that. That's not what it's
Yes,
about.
you can draw. Absolutely. But
But the
no,
fact that I get to work with and showcase amazing people like you, and I wouldn't trade up those experiences, those connections, for the world. I really wouldn't.
I appreciate it. I really do. I've been so super excited. I was also nervous about today, but we
Ah,
got through it.
of course. I mean, you and I,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I was nervous, you were nervous, but in the
Mhm,
end, here we are
mhm. Yeah,
doing the
here we are.
drawing show.
Everything worked out
It,
perfectly.
of course it did. And
And,
I really didn't have a second doubt about that. And it's really going to ramp up and get people excited about the
yeah.
drawing show. Like Carissa Dumond's on Tommy Bell's drawing show.
Ooh.
Now we really up to the ante. You
Yep. And then
know,
it's my turn. I want to get on there. I want to talk. I want to do this. Yeah. No, that's cool.
I think it's outstanding. And like I said again, without being my guinea pig, I really thought you were the perfect first guest to have
Aw.
on. And I'll say this too, because if anything went wrong, I knew we could laugh it off easier than
Yes, we could. And we did. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah. No, this
Now,
is
mentally, I've been leaving like these little white spots in here and
right.
stuff.
Right.
I'm The reason I'm doing that is because I'm debating in my brain, and this happens, Carissa, this happens more than I can describe, but I think maybe that's what's important about having you be able to come on over to the art table and see what's going on for a little bit, is so that I can confess and say, I might have another idea for another color in mind all of a sudden, and then I'll leave an
Right.
area blank and
Okay.
say, All right. I'll go back to that in a minute if I'm looking for a real pop of
Okay.
something. And I'll
Right.
show you in about 30 seconds
Okay.
just what happens when I take a risk like that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hop into this super cool color here,
Mm-hmm.
which is a seashell pink. And it
Great.
seems weird to add that to your hair because your hair doesn't have that in there. But
Right.
what is important is to pull out highlights that also aren't here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I'm going to force them in here just like this. And because it's a warm color, it's
Right.
going to blend with the terracottas and the browns
Right.
really effortlessly. And so, and of course, if I make it too highlighted, I can go over it with the terracotta and dull
Right.
it down some.
Okay.
Because this is
Oh,
a lighter color, I have so much more cheat with this than I do the black or the really
mhm.
dark brown.
Right.
I can hop in here and do all kinds of stuff like this. Do 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 do.
That looks so
Maybe a little bit down
cool.
there.
That's
And then, yeah, I probably forgot to tell you, I ramble and I sing sometimes, and
okay. It makes it fun.
she's
That
calling
looks
the authorities now, everybody. Those sounds of police helicopters over my studio. Just try
they're
to
coming to
block
take
those
me
out. That
away.
means nothing.
Oh, that looks really cool.
Yes, but
Wow.
I also don't want to. The thing is with really cool, you can overdo it and give people a
Okay.
little too much, and then it doesn't work. So
Okay.
my medium brown is
There
going to
you go.
save the day now,
Okay.
and I'll show you how. And all I'm going to do, I'm not even taking those things away. I'm
Hmm.
just going to make them work a little bit better.
Okay.
So, like, I really like this little highlight right here where my fingers are, but
Yeah.
too big. So I'm going
Okay.
to shave it down,
Oh.
narrow it, and I'm going to take this one and
Uh-huh.
shave it down. Just a little clip off the top, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Well,
I
you got to
like
be a
that.
little nutty to be an artist, and I've
That's okay.
never tried to hide that.
No,
Um,
I don't.
I try to be polite, but I also try to warn people that, like, as an artist, I view everything, including myself, very
Right.
oddly, and just kind of. I can't even say I'm marching to the beat of my own drummer because I'm not even sure I'm marching to a drummer at all.
Oh God.
You just go on the moment, which
Oh,
is really. I can't do it all day long and just live in the moment and flippantly do whatever. But when I hit the paper, I can't.
right.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Yeah.
when Mrs. Bell says, "Hey, those dishes need to get done."
Oh
It's
no.
well, or the trash needs to go out or whatever. Like that's
Yeah.
regular, normal life that we all do, and
Yeah. Yeah.
there's no freedom in that. There's no fun in that, but you do it.
Yeah.
But I hold off and I hold my breath and get all that stuff done so that when I hit the paper
Mhm.
and I pick up the colored pencils,
Right.
it's just like Bob Ross used to say, it's my world now. And
That's right.
I can create whatever I want to. And even as the LFC says,
Right.
instead of drawing happy little trees, this drawing show draws beautiful women. And, uh, and now I have one of them as a guest on my show. How about that?
Oh, sweet. You're
How
very sweet.
good? How good is life?
Life is fantastic.
There are magic moments, people, and
Oh,
this is one of them right now. So there you
oh,
go.
absolutely. I'm watching you, color my hair in. It's amazing.
Yes, and you don't even have to sit in a chair for hours
No.
and hours. So I don't know what kind of salon you go to. Do they speak like with French accent there where your hair is beautiful?
No, no,
I
no,
bet you I bet they do.
no.
Look at how beautiful your hair. But you see, you're letting your split end get too crazy. So we're going to take some.
Yes, we're going to trim those up.
We're gonna trim those up. We're gonna add some more earthy color to it.
That looks so cool.
Thank
Wow.
you.
And then you have all the little tendrils coming up because that's what it does in the water.
Right. And yours in the moment, you can tell from this that you were
Mhm.
actually moving this way by the way
Yes.
your hair is. And I wanted to, again, exaggerate. Art is always an exaggeration. And I
Right.
thought
Right.
some of these hairs, because in this fight on paper, in my
Right.
head anyway,
Mhm.
moving
Right.
around a little bit more.
Yeah, well, there we go.
We're gonna
Nice.
have a little, and I did the same thing with sushis. So
Yes, I know. I know her hair looks really cool too.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I am really, really thrilled that this piece, which is
Hmm.
what we're a third of the way done, maybe something like that, has
Yeah.
gotten so much excitement uh,
Yes.
from people. I'm, it's very liberating when you have an idea that's kind
Hmm.
of crazy, and then you talk to somebody like you, and they ramp it up tenfold and say, "Let's do this whole thing underwater."
Sure. Absolutely.
And I
No,
said,
this is
"Great,
perfect.
let's go for it." And
Yeah.
but just when you start
Uh,
seeing the excitement of everybody else who really had nothing to do with the
Right.
project, that's where
Right.
it really starts. Not that it didn't feel good before, and then when I see Sushi chiming in each and every post, that
Oh, I
feels
know.
so great. And just the
Oh, wow.
attention it's getting
Hmm.
from
Hmm.
people, I think it's fantastic.
Yes, it is. It's amazing.
And then people are finding out about Carissa Dumond as well.
Ooh, yay.
Our next one will feature some wonderful, amazing photography by one of our mutual friends, Mr. Don Cross.
Yes, yes, he's fantastic. Love
Yeah,
working with him. Yeah.
he is him and I started
Mhm.
well, I started doing some drawings off of his photos
Yeah.
probably 3 or 4 years ago now. I lost
Oh,
track,
wow.
but
Right.
what a talent, incredible talent that guy is.
Yes.
And just my experiences with him, of
Hmm.
course, from the get-go were
Right.
just off the wall because I had no idea how to deal with professional people being who I am. He became such a fast friend, and just we
Yeah.
just had so much fun together uh
Hmm.
working on things that it's going to be, again, it's going to be just another privilege for me to be able to showcase his uh,
Hmm.
incredible photography eye in our
Yes.
next drawing.
Yes.
And here I'm just kind of like, see,
Yeah.
kind of weird how it's still dark back here, but it's also because your hair was doing something a little different than I was doing in the drawing here. So I'm
Right.
bouncing back and forth. But the neat
Okay.
thing is that like right now, a lot of the people on social media aren't seeing the photograph.
Right.
So, and a lot of times sometimes I'll show it side by side when the whole thing is finished. Like, hey,
Okay.
here it is. And then like the post after the big reveal is,
Hmm.
hey, here's the side by side,
Yeah.
with that. But I also like to check, make sure that's okay with each and every photographer before I
Sure.
do some boneheaded move like
No, no. But that looks really cool.
yeah, just I don't know how long we've been on, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But already you can kind of start to see
Hmm.
how it falls together. And when I
Yeah.
color hair, I do it quite different than I color skin or tails
Right.
or anything else because I'm doing it as hairs. So
Right.
I'm putting those lines in the direction of the
Hmm.
way these little hairs are moving, and I don't deviate.
Right.
Even when I'm blending, I don't go or anything like that because
Hmm.
you ain't gonna like what happened.
Mm.
It's not good. It's no fun. It's not good. You're not
No.
going to achieve the same blending because when I'm
Hmm.
done blending everything, my hope is always on each and every drawing that you can't see all the little work lines,
Hmm.
you know. Otherwise, maybe I didn't do a really good job by blending. Maybe I was in too much of a hurry. But so
That
if
looks
I
fantastic.
do it little by little, then you can't see all those little blend lines and stuff.
Right. Right. Wow, that really pops.
Thank you. I mean,
Oh, wow.
that's one of the things I shoot for so many times is I
Mhm.
need for the entire image to really jump up and punch people in the face.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's good.
And this was the perfect, again, I haven't been fired up about doing a piece like this.
Good.
Gang, I said it before the show when Carissa and I were talking, but truth, absolute truth here. I will not lie. I think this project has had more pre-production work put in by some of the most amazing people before I even got started on working on it myself than I've
wow.
ever done before. So I think I'm up to low 90s as far as the artwork I've created since 2020. So that's a lot of images and a lot of support from many, many people. But this is one that will go down in history as having so much pre-production stuff so I can bring an image like this to you.
Yes.
That it's beyond flattering for me to even think about. It really is. I mean, it makes me work harder to get this, like, don't screw this up, pretzel boy. It did a lot of work for you.
No, but it does. It looks amazing. I love the detail. Oh, wow. That's
And it
great.
just starts falling together just like that, little by little.
Wow.
And the one thing that I don't do during the show that I will do when I'm working on this and there isn't a camera rolling is every 30 minutes or so, I'll pull myself away. I'll walk away, go to a different room, whatever. And then I put fresh eyes on it and start to tweak things to an insane level, which I will do before I do a posting of, here's the hair on the mermaids.
Right.
Instead, I will be staring at this like a mental patient who has nothing better to do. So if you feel really stared at later tonight, it's not just me. Sorry.
Just you, yeah. That's funny, but that's good. That's a great thing to do because you might have missed something or had just a little bit of, oh, wait a minute, I need to do this. And yeah, that makes
Exactly.
sense.
You
Yeah.
need to step away, take a look
Right.
at it, come back. If an area isn't working, I don't fight it.
Right.
I walk away and work on another area and I'll come back.
Right.
Which is a wonderful cheat if you are doing posting on social media like I do.
Mhm.
People don't, there's a lot goes on behind the scenes and people have no idea. And then they're just like, wow, look how great you did. In the meantime, something's giving you grief and you're storming around the house swearing like a sailor.
And they're saying how wonderful it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, anytime I see that, just fires me up and it makes me want to really make, I talked about creating your masterpiece. And
the underwater fans, they're really going to grab onto this as well because that's one of the things they really like is what the hair does underwater, how it just kind of magnifies and it flows. And I mean, you've really captured that. I mean, a lot more so than the actual picture. It just your detail. They're going to absolutely love it.
I am, like I said, I don't want to accept any awards until there's no sense doing that, and until you actually see, because a lot of it, and again, this goes back to me being super judgmental, but I have doubts about each and every drawing until I can sit back and see that it's actually finished and that I didn't, do something goofy with it. However, with that being said, this is really such a cool piece to work on. And I thought it was going to be cool with the idea that I had. And then when you jumped in and you were like, hey, we just ramp it up a little bit. I'm like, oh, well, look at you. And we are almost at a point, Carissa.
Yes.
Where?
We're
going to get the little guy down here first. I'm going to do what every artist loves to do, sharpen pencils. There we go. Got to get it nice and sharp because we're doing hair, and it's got to be, your line that you're putting down has to be super smooth, like that. And we're going to get these little doodads down there. Now, I might even Look here. I'm just going to add a few more. Why not?
Yeah.
Because I can. Look at
Yeah.
that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Now,
Uh-huh.
now, I'm going to go back into my black.
Oh.
Right. This is where it gets fun because
Okay.
there's areas like this block of
Mm-hmm.
hair right here is behind this one. Now, what's the easiest way to show that that's really behind there and there's a lot of hair going on
Right.
is
Oh,
just like that.
like
And
that. Oh,
I'm going to
nice.
do in several different areas,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll back my big old hand away so you can see what I'm
Okay.
talking about. Because these are the things that, like when I talk about really micro detailing something, that's
Right.
what I look at. Is, oh, okay, I could do this. I need to pull this out a little bit. And while I'm blocking in a little bit of this for you to see, I also want to put that bug in your ear as I
Uh,
do with every model that I
Okay.
feature.
Mm-hmm.
You can already, if you want to, start having some fun looking for your hidden initials because I put them in here and I put Sushi's in here as well.
Really?
Yeah, they're there. They're
Okay.
already there.
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
I can't tell you how many times Angelica Co, my good friend from Italy,
Right.
used to have a devil of a time finding her initials. And now she's been in 4 different drawings and now she's caught on to how I do it.
Ah, I see. Okay. So it's a little puzzle. Neat.
Yeah, kind of. I want them to be there so that
Okay.
there's no denying, oh, it's there. But in
Right.
the image, it has to be hidden to a certain extent because that's not the point.
Right.
It's more of a, hey, this drawing really is in your honor because your initials are
Over
a part
there.
of this drawing.
Oh, that's so awesome. I didn't know that. That's really cool.
I won't tell you where they are,
No, no.
but
I
I will say they are already on the drawing.
oh wow. Okay. I'll be looking.
I
You know I'll be looking.
know. And just so that you know, just to be fair, I need to be completely fair about this little game because it's a game I like to play with each and every model because I do have a twisted sense of humor. If you can't find it, please
Okay.
reach out to me.
Okay.
I still won't tell you, but I want you to reach out to me.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. I know what
It's
I'm
like a
gonna.
Where's Waldo of finding
Yeah.
your own initials in your own drawing. Now, what's cooler than that?
Hi, that's so cool. I mean, that's beyond cool.
Well, I used to do it and not tell the models. And it wasn't until sometime in late 2021 where I
Okay.
just started saying, by the way, and I would get this reaction of, what, you did what? And I'm like, well, I've done 3 drawings of you. Didn't you know that those were in the other ones too?
Oh my gosh. So do they go back and they take a look and try to find them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
It's so funny too. What really stinks though is if they go back too far to some,
Right.
I literally have to study it myself to go, oh God, where did I put those?
Oh no, because you forgot. Oh
You hide
gee.
so many and do so many drawings that sometimes, I mean, again, they're
Yeah.
hidden.
Hey.
So I don't
Hey.
have that photographic memory of like,
Mhm.
oh, I know. I mean, there's a few where I'm like, I know exactly where I put that. And there's
Right.
some where I don't. I'm like,
Oh,
oh God, where did I hide them?
oh, that's fun.
Have to
Oh,
break it out and look for a little bit, and then I'll find them and be like, oh, okay.
okay. Okay. That is so cool though.
And
Neat.
now I'm just again using the black, and I'm even
Mhm.
putting in some lines in the
Yeah.
hair that I might have done with an ink pen. However, when I do them with a colored pencil, because once
Mhm.
this is all colored, Chris, you might
Right.
not be aware of this. Once it's all colored, I go
Mhm.
in with a little Sharpie ink pens like this one right here
Okay.
with a super tiny tip on it. And
Okay.
I will accentuate all the little lines that the colored pencil wax kind of dulls down or mutes out or whatever.
Okay.
Bring all that back, and then it gets sprayed with a clear acrylic coat so that the colors never fade.
Okay. Okay.
But
Cool though.
when you do that with an ink pen, you get a very deliberate
Mhm.
line.
Right.
Um, And when you do it with a colored pencil, you can play with it a little. You can mute it some if you get a little too detailed in the moment or in an area.
Right.
It's a way of cheating. I can pull it back if I don't like it. So what I've done here is kind of taking you from start to finish, almost finished, back and forth with these four colors, not getting super elaborate, not getting super fancy, because your hair looks dynamic in just these colors.
And that's so cool. Yeah.
One of the things that you have to try to plan out when you're doing an image like this is what color's going to be here, what color is this going to be, all that stuff, so that you create a real contrast when you're done. So sometimes you might be working on a part of a drawing and it seems a little mundane because maybe you only used 4 colors or whatever, but against what's coming, it's really gonna bang. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of micromanaging my scribbles in the areas where I don't like them. So if there's an area and I'm like, that looks too scribbly, that's what I'm doing right now.
And there's the humming.
I don't even realize I do it sometimes.
It's cool. Oh, that looks so awesome.
And I'm varying the colors in some of these strands because they would be. They're not all going to be. There's going to be some highlights on those as they reach up towards the top of the water.
Right. You're right.
Stuff. Now then, let's see what we got here. I'm going to dull this one a little bit. A little darker there. A little darker here. And
wow.
Then I'm going to highlight that little doodad. And I'm going to pop in. And it's a lot of playing back and forth with these highlight and shadow colors. And kind of you get something and then you stop and you're like, all right, that's it. Don't touch nothing.
Don't touch nothing. No more. No more.
Well, I'm sure you know how that is, Carissa. Like you working on something somewhere and all you reach that point of saying, if I do anything more with this, I'm liable to screw it up.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So there it is.
It's amazing. I love it.
These 4 colors right here, and I will probably use those same 4 colors on Sushi's hair. The difference is that I will be focusing much more on the blacks. You just fill in more of that. That's how you just balance it. I mean, you just kind of.
Right.
And I know I said I was finished, and here I am. You're like, what's he doing?
He's
Stop. You said you were done. So there you can see, Carissa, just how some of this stuff happens. And I know it seems in the moment of the show like, wow, he really did that kind of fast. I block it in really fast, but then I micromanage the hell out of it for a couple hours. So because I'm sharing these posts with you, I mean, I'll tell you something. It is honestly a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes when I step outside the box and I realize, oh my God, the person I'm showing this to is the person I'm drawing, who has high hopes for this drawing. And it's not like I'm working on a computer where I can just click back something if I don't like it or whatever. It's on there. And I thought, good Lord, who posts? What kind of an idiot does a drawing and posts the stages of it? What happens if you dump something on it or you spill something or God? You're only human, so many things can happen. But you know what? I've been fortunate and lucky. And now I think some of my followers literally follow me because I post steps.
Yes.
And they can kind of like watch along, not like you are right now, but they can watch along and go, oh, okay. You know, I get it. And I can see how he got from that to that.
Right. And it's also the creative process because a lot of people do things on the computer now and they're not using the pencils and the sketching and, the, I guess, traditional or old fashioned, but it's amazing to see it just grow and be created.
Right. And what I'm doing right now, which might seem redundant, but at the same time it was needed, and I'm glad I didn't stop when I was gonna, is because I'm smoothing out, I'm adding an extra layer of smoothness
Okay.
to the hair where it would have been kind of blocky looking. Maybe not to the casual observer, but if you
Right.
start staring at these things, and when I create them as though someone's going to look at them the way I do.
Okay.
And like look at the infinite areas and
Mhm.
really study them, because if I create it that way, then everybody who even views it on a casual level is,
Mhm.
hey, that looks outstanding. You're like, well, I
Mhm.
didn't like this, and they're like, you're crazy. And here, okay, now I think I've reached a point where I'm
Okay.
really happy with how
Okay.
smooth it looks to me.
Okay.
And this is something that if you had this original piece of paper, mostly people buy prints and stuff, but if you had the original on this,
Right.
when you hold it to the light a certain way, you will see work
Yeah.
lines and things. And that's what I'm talking about as far as creating a smooth,
Okay.
now you can see very
Oh,
closely
that's amazing. Look.
exactly what I've done there.
Oh, that looks so good. I
And
love Yay.
later on this
Mhm.
evening, for my next social media post, which by the way, the finished version of this will be out long before this episode is aired. So this will all be kind of going back and remembering when at this point in
Yeah.
time. But that's your hair. I will be doing sushis before I do my next stage post on this. Uh,
Okay.
and there it is. All right, that's about going to do it for another special episode of Tommy Bell Art Sketchy and Funny. Carissa, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Go ahead and give us a plug on your social media tweets where people can reach out to you.
I am on Twitter, Carissa Dumond. I'm also on FetLife. I do Loyal Fans, and I also do Clips for Sale. All of them are under Carissa Dumond, no E at the end.
Well, thank you, Carissa, so much for being my very first guest on Tommy Bell Art Sketchy and Funny. It's been a pleasure having you on, Carissa. Thank you very much for being a part of the show and this drawing. Thank you.
Yay!
Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Tommy Bell Art. And be sure to check this show on my YouTube channel, Mike Larkin's YouTube channel. And now I want to thank my friends at the LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships. There they are there for airing my little drawing show on the VIP section of their website. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Tommy Bell Art Sketchy and Funny. Follow Tommy Bell on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tommy Bell Art. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Tommy Bell Art. Tommy Bell Art Sketchy and Funny is now on Spotify and on the VIP section of the official LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships website. Follow our guest Carissa Dumond at Carissa Dumond on Twitter for all news, posts, and updates. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
time.